Jai Hind, I am Colonel H. Padmanabhan. 27 November 2022 is being celebrated as the 74th NCC Day, National Cadet Corps Day in India. This video is to bring out some glimpses of how this organization has evolved over years and why the last Sunday of November every year is being celebrated as the National Cadet Corps Day. My greetings to the DG NCC, Lieutenant General Gurbir Pal Singh, 15 lakh odd NCC cadets, the associate NCC officers, the girl cadet instructors, the whole-time lady officers, the civilian staff who support the system at various levels, and most importantly, the serving soldiers who impart military training to the cadets, and the energetic officers who head this training team. A big salute to you all. With 15 lakh odd youth strength, NCC is the largest uniformed youth organization in the world. Though when formed, the main purpose of NCC probably was to develop a second line of defense for the Indian Armed Forces during emergencies and wars. But today, it stands to develop a sustainable self-discipline, character and leadership qualities in the youth, to create a purpose to serve the nation at various levels. The motto of NCC is unity and discipline. There are two important words. Discipline, as you all aware, is not a forced one. It has to be a self-discipline which comes through methodological training. And unity is very, very important. You can't attain anything by being a single brilliant guy. You have to learn to be part of a larger team for a common goal. NCC today is in the right track with lots of Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat, creating a lot of patriotism, instill patriotic fervor in the youth, lots of social service activities, and personality development camps, etc. One example of social service activity is the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, which NCC continuously undertakes in forms of Punit Sagar Abhiyan and such kind of activities. Let me tell you, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is not cleaning the garbage going around the countryside, but it has to be a way of life for everyone. NCC's job is to teach each and everyone around you to take Swachh Bharat as a way of life, and most importantly, it's a part of your behavior or outlook towards the country. To keep the country clean, that is what is most important. Now, coming to the evolution of NCC as an organization, the concept of bringing in youth organization to assist the armed forces in times of emergency has started way back in 1666 in Germany, almost 350 years old. As far as India is concerned, I think a need for such kind of a youth organization was felt for the first time in 1857 during the first freedom struggle, which we call the Mutiny War. And we were under British rule, and somewhere during the World War I, when lots of Indians were recruited into armed forces, commanded by Britishers to take part in the war. Indian Defence Force Act was framed to facilitate that. As part of that, a university corps was formed in 1916. Then subsequently, and before that, our father of nation Mahatma Gandhi, during his student life in South Africa, was part of the, or rather a cadet of the ambulance corps of the South African army, and he has even taken part in a war called Boer War and some rebellion held in South Africa. So we can be proud that we are the successor of once an NCC cadet, Mohan Chand Karamchand Gandhi. Subsequently, in 1920, Indian Territorial Forces Act was framed and this university corps was converted into a university training corps. And again, our first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru was a cadet in the University Training Corps, and Netaji Subhash Bose Chandra Bose was also a cadet under Allahabad University and Kolkata University respectively. 1940s brought the World War II, and again some minor changes were made, and by the time India was on the verge of getting into a free nation. And in 1946, after the World War II, the government, that time government under the British people, felt a need to have a youth organization, uniformed youth organization like this in India also, and they formed a committee under a renowned intellectual called Hrudayanath Kunzru. And this committee went around the countryside, did a lot of research, interacted with a lot of youth and the teachers and the provincial Maharajas, and submitted their report in 1948. And during World War II, various wings were tried, like University Officers Training Corps, the Indian Air Training Corps, Sea Scouts Corps, and even a Women's Auxiliary Corps was formed, but all failed due to lack of vision. And on 16th April 1948, after India has attained freedom, the NCC Act was passed as the 31st Act by the Indian Parliament, containing 13 paragraphs only. The NCC Act is common for both boy cadets and the girl cadets and all the NOs, whereas NCC rules were formed in 1948 for the boys, which is applicable to the boy cadets and the male NOs, and in 1949 separate NCC rules were formed for the girl cadets and the female ANOs, named the NCC Rule 1949 Girls Division. NCC Act is common for both. And in 1950, the Air Force wing was started. 1952, the naval wings were started. 1950, India were declared as a republic, and 1951, the first Republic Day camp was held in New Delhi, and the NCC contingent from Delhi participated in that. And that time itself was decided, the very next day of the Republic Day camp, the Prime Minister will interact with the NCC cadets. That is how the PM rally has started. And in 1952, the second Republic Day camp, after that, the PM rally, a girl cadet named Joy D'Souza from 2nd Madhya Pradesh Girls Battalion was declared as the best cadet, and she impressed Jawaharlal Nehru so much. Jawaharlal Nehru gifted his own personal baton to that girl. That is how this tradition of gifting the Prime Minister's baton to the best cadets of NCC during every PM rally continues even today. And NCC cadets took part very actively in 1965 and 71 war against Pakistan. And during 62 war, though NCC didn't take part very actively, but since we lost the war, the government felt that the military training must be made compulsory for all the youth. And from 62 to 68, it was made compulsory in all colleges. But subsequently, 68, the democratic government felt that it should not be forced upon the youth, and it continued as the voluntary force ever since. How NCC Day was fixed as the last Sunday of November? It's a very interesting story. After the NCC Act was formed in April 1948, according to that NCC Act, some 96 NCC units were formed throughout the country, and 9 NCC units were formed in Delhi. On 15th of July 1948, when the schools and colleges opened after the summer vacation. So ideally, 15th July should have been the NCC Day, but they decided against it because every year 15th July is the college opening day, and fixing the NCC Day on that will not give adequate time for any preparation for celebrating the NCC Day, and as such the teachers and the cadets will be busy on the first day of their academic session. So that was ruled out. So then they were thinking what to fix. January 26, Republic Day, and after that NCC cadets are there on January 27th. That day was also considered, again due to various reasons that was discarded. But finally, the day was fixed as the last Sunday of November in 1953, because it was again on 27th of November only in 1949, almost 1.5 years after its formation, that the Delhi-based 9 units arranged a big camp in Delhi, calling the Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru as the chief guest. And since that was the biggest function ever conducted by the NCC, that day was fixed as the NCC Day, because people strongly recommended having the NCC Day on a Sunday because they don't want to affect the academic career of the teachers and the students. The decision to celebrate the last Sunday of November, it is not fourth Sunday. There are some November months in which 5 Sundays appear. In that also, it is the last Sunday which was selected as the NCC Day. Even now, we continue with that. I will explain a small history about a very, very famous NCC cadet called Under Officer Pratap Singh of Punjab Directorate, who took part in the 1965 Indo-Pak War. He and his team of cadets of around 50-odd cadets were tasked to assist the soldiers in loading, unloading, traffic control, etc. in Gurdaspur railway station in Gurdaspur, which is a Punjab town which is very close to Pakistan war, and the war was in full swing. When a train was standing there, fully loaded with petrol, diesel and ammunition, there was an unexpected Pakistan airstrike on the railway station, because of which one compartment of the train got fired. And the fire, you can imagine, with petrol, diesel, kerosene and ammunition, would have turned out to be a very, very big disaster. But the 50-odd cadets under Officer Pratap Singh got into the flames, managed to detach the unaffected compartment from the burning compartment. And of course, all of them have sustained severe burns. But he averted a big disaster in 2 ways. One is, if the whole train would have been burst, then the whole Gurdaspur district, leave alone the Gurdaspur railway station, would have set on fire. More than that, the war is going on. The train was carrying the diesel, petrol, kerosene and the ammunition for the fighting soldiers in the frontier. If this train was damaged or destroyed, the war would have got delayed almost by a week. Maybe because of that, the war we would have lost also. For this bravery, the nation honored Under Officer Pratap Singh with Ashok Chakra Grade 3, which is equivalent to Shaurya Chakra of today, and it was awarded by the President, Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, during the Republic Day of 1966. This boy, that time boy, was the highest or decorated NCC cadet ever in the history of NCC of India. You all must be aware of that. I must conclude this by saying our Honorable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi, is an ex-NCC cadet as a junior division cadet. Our Honorable Raksha Mantri, Defence Minister, Sri Rajnath Singh, was also an NCC cadet. And even the Raksha Rajya Mantri is also an ex-NCC cadet. I remember Sri Narendra Modi, during his first PM rally in 2015, January 27th, his entire speech is still available on YouTube. He told the NCC cadets of the PM rally that he tried as a JD cadet to represent Gujarat to come to Delhi to attend the Republic Day camp, but he was rejected and he couldn't attend RDC. And some Kulkarni went to represent a school, and when the boy came back, the boy was already a hero of the school and the town. But what he said, as a cadet who failed to represent his state in the annual Republic Day camp in Delhi, if he can become the Prime Minister of India, you people sitting in front of me has already crossed that level and you are representing your state in the Republic Day camp. For you all, sky is the limit. And another thing Sri Modi said was about the drill. I will repeat it in Hindi only. He says, drill वो कदम मिलाने का काम नहीं है. जब कदम मिलता है, मन मिलता है. जब मन मिलता है, मकसद मिलता है. एंड मकसद मिलता है तो देश की सेवा करने के लिए इससे ज़्यादा अच्छा शक्ति आपको नहीं मिलेगा. So he also said that every uniformed NCC cadet identifies himself or herself with the soldier in uniform standing guard for the mother nation on the borders. So they are the future soldiers or people who can safeguard the mother, and getting an opportunity to defend your mother nation is the ultimate responsibility you can ever have. That is what the NCC cadets are having the feeling when they get trained along with the serving soldiers. As I said, this time it is the 74th NCC day. Next year, 2023, is going to be the 75th NCC day. We recently celebrated our 75th anniversary of our independence as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Next year it is going to be Azadi Ka NCC Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And I am sure DG NCC must be planning wonderful celebrations, grand celebrations for that. So with that note, let me take this opportunity once again to wish you all a fantastic and a great 74th NCC day, and I wish you and your family all the very best in future. My greetings to all ex-NCC cadets and ANOs also. I forgot to mention about one thing about the NCC Alumni Association. It was started last year only. The Alumni Association is very important. It gives a platform for the ex-NCC cadets and the ANOs to contribute towards nation building. And when it was started, our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi is the number one, with serial number 1, registration number 1 in the NCC Alumni Association. I am also part of the NCC Alumni Association and trying to reconnect with the NCC organization as a ex-commanding officer of NCC units. All the very best, and keep doing well, keep contributing towards nation building. Jai Hind. Thank you.